Hello, A-Push people. I'm doing these videos at 11 at night, so please bear with me if I'm whispering or you can't hear me. These videos are taken directly from the AMSCO book, United States History. We are on page 106, Federalist versus Anti-Federalist. So, last video number 2 of this chapter, we discussed drafting the Constitution in Philadelphia. Today we are going to introduce two groups, and you can really call them the beginnings of the two-party system in America. We are talking about the Federalist versus the Anti-Federalist. So let's start. Ratification was fiercely debated for almost a year, from September 1787 until June 1788. Supporters of the Constitution and its strong federal government were known as Federalists. Opponents were known as Anti-Federalists. Federalists were most common along the Atlantic coast and in the large cities, while Anti-Federalists tended to be small farmers and settlers on the western frontier. So these Federalists were known to gather in the cities and along the Atlantic coast, but the Anti-Federalists were mostly farmers. The Federalist Papers. A key element in the Federalist campaign for the Constitution was a series of highly persuasive essays written for a New York newspaper by James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and John Jay. The 85 essays, later published in book form as the Federalist Papers, presented cogent reasons for believing in the practicality of each major provision of the Constitution. So these papers basically set out to explain the position of the Constitution and why the Constitution should and needs to be ratified. The Federalists won early victories in the state conventions in Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, the first 3 states to ratify. By promising to add a Bill of Rights to the Constitution, they successfully addressed the Anti-Federalist most telling objection. With New Hampshire voting yes in June 1788, the Federalists won the necessary 9 states to achieve ratification of the Constitution. Even so, the larger states of Virginia and New York had not yet acted. If they failed to ratify, any chance for national unity and strength would be in dire jeopardy. So they wanted every state in America to ratify the Constitution because they feared this national rejection So I'm not going, if you look at the book, this chart, a picture of it will appear on Google Classroom. I'm not going over it because your assignment involves going over it and basically filling it in. In 1788, Virginia was by far the most populous of the original 13 states. There, the Anti-Federalists rallied behind two strong leaders, George Mason and Patrick Henry, who viewed the Constitution and a strong central government as threats to Americans' hard-won liberty. Virginia's Federalists, led by Washington, Madison, and John Marshall, managed to prevail by a close vote only after promising a Bill of Rights. News of Virginia's vote had enough influence on New York's ratifying convention, combined with Alexander Hamilton's effort to win the day for the Constitution in that state. North Carolina in November 1789 and Rhode Island in May 1790 reversed their earlier rejections and thus became the last two states to ratify the Constitution as the law of the land. So their main goal was to add the Bill of Rights, to persuade Anti-Federalists to join their movement. So that's what we are going over in the next video. What are the Bill of Rights? And what are these civil liberties? So pay attention to the next video.